Name me any fighter on that top 10 pound for pound. I don't care who it is. Name me any fighter on the top 10 pound for pound who's looking to fight a fighter coming off a loss his next fight. Any fighter.
I can't name one. I can't name
There isn't one.
You're right. There is, but you gotta understand, it is mandatory.
So why he didn't fight Charlo when he was his mandatory?
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Or it just didn't happen, you know?
He surrendered his belt. He gave up his belt because he didn't want to fight Charlo. He clearly avoided the man, which is my point. You can't be pound for pound #1 when you're not even #1 in your own division.
That's Charlo fought. Why ain't Charlo fighting like known people? Why are you fighting guys like Hogan and Adams? I don't get it.
Okay, who Avini fought? Who Avini fought? Who Avini fought?
It doesn't matter.
Avini got a Canelo fight coming up. So why does Charlo got to do something that Avini didn't do? When Charlo's undefeated. Yeah, we listening.
Toronto boxing, coming from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, that's what's up. Finally, you called in. So you said you're gonna put an L on my record. Go ahead, talk to me. What you disagree with?
Hey, before I start, I was gonna say, I've been following you for a while since you guys started. Like, much respect for your show. I love it. You know.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, it's all boxing talk. Yeah, it's never personal at the end of the day. It's all boxing talk. You disagree with something, so can you please let the world know what you disagree with? And you say you're gonna hand me an L, so I'm waiting on it.
Yeah. Before that, like, nothing but respect for you, Aki. I love what you do. I love your show. But, you know, like, the only thing I disagree, the only thing I think, this is what it is. I think I would love to fight with Charlo and Canelo. Don't get me wrong. That would be an awesome fight, all right? So the only thing I argue about is I want to see Charlo, if he doesn't get Canelo, fight the next best fighter. Fight Triple G. Fight Andrade. Fight Benavidez. I want to see the best fights, you know? You know what I mean? And I think Canelo is fighting champions, you know?
Yeah, but is
I haven't seen Charlo fighting champions lately.
Is Avini a champion? Huh? Avini a champion?
He's not a champion, but he's a mandatory. He has to fight him. He has a WC belt. He has to fight Avini.
No, he don't. He requested to fight him. He requested to fight him. He didn't have to fight him. He requested.
It's mandatory.
He made him his mandatory. He called the WBC personally and told him he want to fight him for the WBC belt of Benavidez. He don't want to fight Benavidez. He told him he want to fight Avini for Benavidez belt because Benavidez got stripped at the time. And you want me to prove it to you? You want me to prove to you that Avini wasn't a mandatory?
No, I see it. I see Benavidez. Like, Benavidez is the #1 contender, but you find it.
I understand that, but you want me to prove to you that Avini is not a mandatory. Do you want me to prove it to you? Avini haven't fought for 2 years, and Avini is coming off a loss. So you can't be a mandatory because a mandatory is like the closest thing to being ranked #1. Matter of fact, you above that ranked #1 slot, right? So how is Avini the mandatory coming off a 2-year layoff and coming off a loss as well? Do you know how?
Hey.
Do you know how?
How?
Canelo Alvarez put him there because Canelo is the WBC president. That's how. But anyways, my brother, I understand. I mean, me and you want to see all these fights, but you said you're going to put an L on my record. I really want to know how and why. And what do you disagree with? Go ahead, let me know.
You know, you got to give Canelo some credit. He's unifying the division. He's doing things, you know. He's fighting the champions, you know. That's something big. It's not easy to beat a champion or to be a champion, you know. And Charlo hasn't fought champions. You know what I mean?
Okay. Do you think Canelo's pound for pound
that's the only thing I argue about.
Yes. Do you think Canelo's pound
right
for
now,
pound #1?
Who else is fighting champions right now? Tell me, who else is fighting champions?
Yeah, no, I'm just asking you a question. Yeah, it's okay. I'm trying to get your take. Do you believe Canelo is pound for pound #1?
I do right now. As of now, yeah. He has a belt in different divisions. Who's doing that?
Okay, that's what's up. All right. So do you believe Jamal Charlo is top 3 pound for pound or anywhere on that pound for pound? Where do you have him on that pound for pound?
Jermel or Jamal?
Jamal, not Jamel. Jamal.
I don't think so. Like, he hasn't fought. Like, don't get me wrong. Jamal's an awesome fighter.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of the best.
I'm just asking you, where do you have him on your pound for pound list? I don't care where you got him at, but I just want to know. I'm curious. Where do you have him on your pound for pound?
Like, I don't have him on the top 10 because he hasn't fought a big name. Exactly. He hasn't had a fight that makes him the top 10. You know what I mean?
That's
he's
exactly,
an awesome fighter.
Yeah,
I want to see him fight better competition.
That's exactly my point. You can't hold who you believe is pound for pound number one and a guy who's not even on the top 10 pound for pound. You can't hold them to the same standards, right? You can't hold Canelo, who you believe is pound for pound number one, to the same standards as Charlo, because you don't even got Charlo on your pound for pound list. For you to hold them both on the same standard, you got to have Canelo pound for pound number one and Charlo pound for pound number two. And you like, well, Charlo ain't doing shit, man. He got to do more. Canelo's doing this. Canelo's doing that. Canelo is in position to do these things because everybody want to fight him. Charlo is not in position to do none of these things. You mentioned Gennady Golovkin early on. Gennady Golovkin turned down the fight with Charlo. He was the mandatory. Gennady Golovkin turned down the fight with Charlo when the WBC ordered him to fight Charlo, right? That's not Charlo's fault. But you see, Gennady Golovkin is chasing Canelo. He will do anything for a Canelo fight, but he won't fight Charlo, right? That's one thing. Second of all, you also got Charlo wanting to fight Daniel Jacob. He couldn't get that fight. He told Daniel Jacob, let's fight. Daniel Jacob had other plans. Charlo said, I'll fight Benavidez. Someone Canelo is not willing to fight. So Charlo is willing to do things Canelo is not even willing to do, is the point that I'm trying to make. But according to you, you said Canelo is pound for pound number one. And you said Charlo is not even on the pound for pound, right? So explain to me this way. Name me any fighter on that top 10 pound for pound. I don't care who it is. Name me any fighter on the top 10 pound for pound who's looking to fight a fighter coming off a loss his next fight. Any fighter.
You're right. But you gotta understand, it is mandatory.
I just explained, my brother, I just explained earlier, he requested Avini to become his mandatory. Canelo requested him to be there. He wasn't there to begin with. So you can't justify him fighting Avini either way. So can you name me anybody on that top 10 pound for pound that's looking to fight a fighter coming off a loss, like a Terrence Crawford, an Errol Spence, a Jamel?
Like, check this out, Keith. This is all I argue about. This is the only thing
go ahead. But I just want to know one fighter. I just want to know one fighter. Name me a fighter coming off a loss that fought a guy on the top 10 pound for pound. Just one.
With a loss, right? With a losing record or just a loss?
No, not a losing record. Coming off a loss. The guy just lost, and a fighter on the top 10 pound for pound fought him next. Or he about to fight him next. It don't matter.
Be honest. I can't name anyone.
There isn't one. That's what I'm saying. You talking about pound for pound number one.
Real,
you talking about pound for pound number one, Canelo. Yeah. He fighting a fighter coming off a loss. You respect that? As a fan of the sport, you respect that.
Canelo for what he's doing.
What is he doing? He fighting a fighter coming off a loss. What is he doing? What is he doing?
Who's doing that in boxing? Charlo ain't doing it. When's the last time Charlo fought a champion?
I just pointed out Gennady Golovkin avoided him. I just pointed out he calling out Benavidez. At the end of the day, if you avoid it, it's not the same as Canelo. Canelo, everybody want him. Everybody gunning for him. Okay, let me put it this way. You said Canelo is fighting Avini because he's his mandatory, right?
Yeah.
So why he didn't fight Charlo when he was his mandatory?
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Well, it just didn't happen, you know?
Why it didn't happen? He surrendered his belt. He gave up his belt because he didn't want to fight Charlo. He clearly avoided the man, which is my point. You can't be pound for pound number one when you're not even number one in your own division. Now, if he would have fought Charlo and beat Charlo and then beat Andrade, I respect that all day. I will crown him myself as pound for pound number one. But when Chavez Sr., when Barrera, Morales, Oscar de la Hoya, all these guys, all these legendary fighters are asking Canelo to fight this man, and he give up his belt, the pride of Mexico, surrender his belt. It's like surrendering your country, surrendering your territory. In other words, you're not willing to go to war. You give up your land. That's what Canelo did. And that's a big statement for Charlo to do, to have a guy like Canelo surrender and wave the white flag. I lost respect for Canelo as a fighter for doing so, because when you give up your belt instead of defending it, you automatically lose respect. I mean, you see Andre calling out Canelo, calling him the B words, telling him you don't have no cojones. I didn't even know what cojones meant. I had to Google what cojones meant to figure out, oh, damn, he telling him he ain't got no balls? Oh, man, that's disrespectful. I mean, the audacity. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the time is up. You admitted yourself that Canelo, you admitted that Canelo avoided Charlo and Andre, and he cherry picking Ivini. You admitted that he ain't fought Charlo, right?
No, let me tell you one more thing, before you hang up on me, all right?
But you said you didn't.
Since Canelo's not fighting Charlo right now, I want to see Charlo fight a name, so Canelo can like notice him. I want to see Charlo fight somebody.
Oh, he noticed him. He noticed him a long time ago. Hey, my brother, he noticed him a long time ago. Trust me, if he didn't notice him, he would have fought him by now. You see him fight the whole Smith family, but he ain't fought none of the Charlo twins. Ain't nobody noticed.
So why ain't Charlo fighting like known people? Why are you fighting guys like Hogan and Adams? I don't get it.
Okay, who Ivini fought? Who Ivini fought? Who Ivini fought?
It doesn't matter who has Charlo fought.
But Ivini got a Canelo fight coming up. So why does Charlo got to do something that Ivini didn't do? When Charlo's undefeated.
Why doesn't Charlo do anything at all?
He is doing something. He fought Devyachenko. He fought J. Rock Williams when he was undefeated. He fought Austin Trout.
Yeah.
He fought all these guys. Who have Ivini fought? Who have Ivini fought? Who have Ivini fought?
He doesn't fight anybody. Charlo hasn't either.
No, but who Ivini fought?
But, hey, check it out.
Hold on. Who Ivini fought? No, hold on. I want to know who Ivini fought to earn a Canelo fight. Because you said Charlo got to earn it, right? Why doesn't... Okay, well, Charlo was his mandatory too when Canelo gave up his WBC belt. Hello? So why he didn't, so why he didn't fight him? Just like Ivini, Charlo was his mandatory as well. You say you don't know? Okay, exactly. But you see, you contradicting yourself. I know you want to see the best fights, but you being a hypocrite right now. You contradicting yourself. You said that Charlo have to do something. He have to make some noise. Well, what did Ivini do? You said he ain't do nothing. He's his mandatory. Well, Charlo is mandatory too. You contradicted yourself. What did Ivini have to do to earn a shot with Canelo? Absolutely nothing. So it's just another proof you contradicting yourself, my brother. Canelo making you looking real crazy right here. You the best. I appreciate the love and support. Let me get back to him. Appreciate the love and support and all that super chat. Yeah, so you contradicting yourself, my brother. You telling me Ivini don't got to do shit to earn a fight with Canelo, but Charlo is his mandatory too. Charlo is his mandatory too. Yeah, because he gave up his belt because he ducked him. Yeah, he not no more because he gave up his belt. He ducked him. He officially ducked him. On the record books, it says Charlo was avoided by Canelo. Charlo got Canelo belt because Canelo didn't want to fight him, so he handed him the belt. He surrendered the belt. That's what the history book says. Hitler conquered a lot of countries without going to war because they waved the white flag. They surrendered. Charlo is the Hitler. The countries that surrender is the Canelo. So you understand. I'm just showing you how you contradicting yourself just to prove to you that you're receiving an L on New Year's because you said Ivini is a mandatory, so was Charlo. And Canelo ducked Charlo. But according to you, Charlo gotta fight somebody when he's undefeated, when he fought Devyachenko, when he fought Trout, when he fought J-Rock. But the guy who got knocked out before, let me put it that way, and just lost his last fight, coming off a 2-year layoff, who Canelo personally requested to become his mandatory. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Ivini earned it, but Charlo, he got to fight somebody though, man. You know, so anyways, my brother, I appreciate talking with you. Love talking with you.
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko.
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt. It's not a championship. It's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko are two sensational fighters who carry the industry.
Ask Cameron Duncan, do Top Rank have like columns of fighters? And they say we don't want this guy fighting the black fighter. We don't want this fighter fighting the Mexican fighter, and so on and so forth.
You're going to get into the racial stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
That's a theory there by the greatest matchmaker, probably, in my opinion, ever.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to mention his name either, but you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
And he used to have a thing up on his board, NBF, no black fighters.
Uh-huh.
And when I was taught to bring up a fighter, you know, and again, it's just, he used to say to me, you can go anywhere in the country. And I'm going to leave it at this. I don't want to go into a long discussion because people are people in God's eyes, and we're all the same. He used to say to me, you can go anywhere into a city in America or anywhere in the world and ask a white guy, and he didn't say any other, he didn't say anything about Hispanic, anything. Ask a white guy to throw a jab, and half of them are going to turn backwards and throw it like a girl and everything. Ask any black man on a street corner in any city in the world, and they will snap out a jab in a heartbeat. And I used to laugh. He said, they're just more physically gifted. And he said, and so they have speed, and better to stay away from them. Nothing personal. So I said, okay. And I've lived by that. And, you know, I don't want to sound like some weird guy, but, you know, you're trying to be safe with your guys. And so, yeah, there is a thing about that, you know, but not in a bad way, in a very respectful way, you know, to be careful. So that's all.
The last man even said they doing that to protect them.
Right.
Somebody beat them, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is to protect them from the big black guys.
So you would favor Devin Haney to beat Vasily Lomachenko?
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ.
Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. Basically, you will end up with a haircut shape up or an edge up. What they do is they tattoo small dots that look like hair follicles in the areas where you have lost your hair and then blend it with your existing hair. You can even choose what type of hairline you want, hard shape up or soft and natural finish. And to maintain it, all you gotta do is shave your hair every few days, which is something you already were probably doing anyway. Make sure you go ahead and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.